Gentlemen, thank you very much once again for coming to the new face. Yes, it's a new face. I mean, I see him every morning, but the new face that I see, maybe the second time I see him at night, Baruch Hashem, many more to come. And the one that I didn't see for very long, and I missed, I love them dearly. And to all of you, Ezrat Hashem, that Almighty God will bless you to have a long and healthy and happy life. To have Shalom Bayit Amiti, Bezrat Hashem, Ahava ve'achva, Shalom ve'rut. If this is so, ladies and gentlemen, I will start with one advice and then 3 short topics of today. The first advice, first of all advice. You know, this is the second time that somebody came to me. I just came back from Shiur Torah. And one guy came to me and said, Rabbi Vaknin, I owe you money. I said, how did I owe you money? It was 1 year ago, maybe 6 months ago, that somebody from Orlando called me, said, Rabbi, I want you to come to my son Brit Milah. I was a rabbi in Orlando for 24 years ago. 24 years ago. I mean, you know, it's nice to keep kesher, to keep some connections, but 24 years. I said, okay, why do you want? So his wife called me, she said, Rabbi, it's very important that you're going to come. I said, why? She said, because the baby came because of you. I said, Baruch Hashem, I hope that you're not going to ask me to pay the tuition. But if you're not asking money, you know, the baby came because of God. We are only messengers. Don't forget. I don't like when people give me credit. Because it's nice, you know, you have to have appreciation, I understand that. But baby is coming because of God. Shalom Bayit happened because of God. Everything that we're doing is Hashem. We are only messengers. Let's not forget what is our position. Sometimes we get mixed up. You are not the one that supports your wife. As much that every time you fight with your wife, you remind your wife, because of me you're alive, I'm paying the house. She was alive before she met you. And I told you many times she's going to be alive. After Rahmat Konam, you're going to be dead. At average, women live much longer for men. At average, they made a research in university. 95% of the women live much longer after. So she was alive before. She had an amazing life before she met you. And she will be alive much after. So don't take credit for something that you have nothing to do with. She's alive because of God. And you're not the one to support. You are both of you partner in this relationship. You know, don't take credit. Ashir ve'ashevach l'chai olamim. Emmanuel, the song and the glorified belong to who? To Borei Olam. Ashir ve'ashevach l'chai olamim. Hashem is the one that's Anufanes. Borei Olam is the one that paid the rent and paid the business. And He is the one that gives us life every day. Baruch Hashem, we have to remember that. So this guy's calling me and said, Rabbi Vaknin, the baby came because of you. The wife. I said, why? He said, last year, I went into Orlando, to Miami. I had a show to run Miami. And I decided to surprise the community in Orlando. I came over there for 1 day, 1 night. I was driving 1 night and I went back to Miami right away. It's 3 hours each way. Depends, if you're Israelis, it's 2 hours. They said about us, we're not driving fast. We're flying slowly. Israelis flying, and it was a minivan. Imagine if I was driving like a car like a Rabbi have. And a car that gets from 0 to 100 under 3 seconds. I drove in a minivan and I got over there 2 hours. Now, I came over there, I made the Shiur Torah, and I went back. And in the Shiur Torah I said, if you want to have a babies, if a person do not have children and want to have children, go and accept upon yourself to pay Brit Milah. The Ben Ish Chai read it. Pay the moel of somebody's Brit. Pay the moel. Come in, instead of giving gift to the Brit. Somebody invited you to the Brit, you say, I don't give gift. Who is the moel? You don't have to pay him, I pay for the moel. This is my gift.
You don't take money?
Who is it?
Why you don't take money?
No, so you give him gift. Pay the, whatever. You put the envelope, you give him. Now, this guy in Orlando, she heard it. They want to have children very long. For 7 years, I believe they had no children. From the previous children, it was 7 years, no children. She heard it, she looked at them, she said tomorrow morning, you find Brit Milah. Mishamayim. It was a miracle that in the morning of that day, I left at night, and in the morning they had Brit Milah in Orlando. This person, Ronnie, he came into the owner of the Brit, said, listen, you don't pay the moel. The moel is my gift. He went and he paid. 9 months exactly, they had a baby. She said, Rabbi Vaknin, this baby came because of you. You came here for maybe 20 minutes, you just said the word of Torah. You came here to give Shir Torah. And you didn't even realize what you say. Today, I came back from Shir Torah, a guy came to me and said, Rabbi Vaknin, I have to pay money to the Moel. So what exactly happened? I said, do you remember the shiur that you gave about the Moel? I went and I accepted by myself. I said, when Ezrat Hashem, I'm going to have a baby boy, I will pay. I went to Israel to pray, and I accept over there in the Kotel, in the Western Wall, that I'm going to pay. And my wife have a good news. We have the first baby, Baruch Hashem. He's cooking, he's still cooking. So before it's coming out, I said, hopefully it's not going to be overcooked. Then it's going to become Sfaradi. This is the difference between Ashkenaz and Sfarad. If you cook or overcook, then Baruch Hashem. Me, I came out 9 days later. You can see it, Baruch Hashem. So Emmanuel came in the right times, Baruch Hashem. You can see Emmanuel came maybe a few days before, Baruch Hashem. You can see white, clear, Baruch Hashem. Each one of us came in his own time, Baruch Hashem, B'Sha'at Tova. Now, he said, I'm going to send them right now the Zen of the Moen to pay direct. Not to pay me, to pay them. He said, I want to pay a Moen that the next few Blitot is going to do for free. So this is one advice. Why I share with you the advice? Because I just came back with a person that told me the same story. Second time already. Second time, right away, Borei Olam, respond. Why? Because me, Gdimani B'Shalem. You pay for somebody's breed, God will make sure that you're going to have breed. So these two cases, both of them have a baby boy, by the way. Not only that they have, one of them is the first baby, the other one is maybe number 4, but both of them had a baby boy. You pay breed, measure to measure, I will give you breed. Okay? I believe that this is the Ben Ish Chai. If this is so, let's go to the topic of today. The first topic, the topic of tonight, divided to 3. Ask me before. I will tell you Chidush Torah that came into my mind with Siyata Dishmaya, with the grace of God. You're not going to believe what the explanation and what the Dvar Torah. Simple, but life-changing. Life-changing. I was dancing when it came into my mind. The most famous rabbi that we read in Shavuot, what's the name of the rabbi that we mention him? Let's see if you can guess. David HaMelech, obvious. But before David, who is the Bobo Kolon of David HaMelech? Boaz. Beautiful. We read Megillat Ruth. Ruth is Bobo Kolon, and Boaz is Bobo. Right? Beautiful. The father of your grandfather. Beautiful. Now, I don't know if you know the stories. According to our sages, Boaz, before he met Ruth was a tzaddiket, Ruth was a convert. Ruth brought Oved brought Ishai brought David, and David brought Shlomo HaMelech brought Melech HaMashiach. Okay, we're waiting for Mashiach to come from this lineage, right? Beautiful. Now, who is Boaz? Emmanuel, you're not going to believe, Boaz had 60 children. 60, I'm not sure if it was one wife or not, debate. He had a long life, very long life. Ruth as well had a long life. Both of them, Baruch Hashem, bless. And all of them died. All his children, when he met Ruth, his wife died and all the 60 children. What exactly he did? Everybody busy about Ruth. We forgot Boaz. And what exactly Boaz did? That lo aleinu velo alechem, all his 60 children died. Do you know the reason? Gentlemen, do you know the reason, ladies? No, right? So today you're going to hear. Avam?
60.
Avam? What exactly he did? Listen to this. Our sages said, he was a man in that generation. His name is Manoach. Manoach was a man with a husband and wife that have no children. Later on they had a child. What's the name of the child? Shimshon HaGibor. The most famous. But before Shimshon, for many years they had no children. Now, Boaz made 120 events for his children. 60 Kanchuri or Shanchuri, and another 60 weddings. I'm going to say it in simple English, 60 engagement and 60 weddings. Beautiful. And he did that and invite Manoach to none of them. And And because Manoach was a broken heart, for every wedding that he had, Manoach was in the house crying, one of his children died.
What's the connection between Manoach and
What is it?
what's the connection between Manoach and him? Boaz?
Beautiful. Now, Boaz was Gedol Ador. Boaz was the chief rabbi, the head rabbi of the courthouse. Rosh Sanhedrin. Boaz was not a simple. He was a rich man. He was a multimillionaire. He was a successful. He had 60 children, perfect. Everything was amazing. He invited the whole town. The only one that he didn't invite is Manoach. Imagine as if you come in the morning to a synagogue. Everybody asks, listen, did you went to these weddings? Last night it was Ash. 2,000 people. So which weddings? They didn't invite you? And then they tell you, I said, what? The president of the community, the chief rabbi, invite the whole community and didn't invite me? Balagan. Now you feel so embarrassment. Manoach was embarrassed. Why the whole community was invited except him? This is the connections. Everybody was invited except Manoach. Now I will tell you the two reasons why he didn't invite him. I will tell you the two reasons, and then you're going to say that was right. The first reason is, very simple. I will tell you the two reasons. You're not going to believe. The first reason is because coming into Bukharian communities, weddings, how much cost you a gift? 300 for a person, right? $500 to $600 for a couple. Now, we have 60 weddings, 60 shulchuri engagement. We're talking about $200 for engagement, $600 for wedding, $800. Time, 60 events. How much is that?
A lot.
48, most likely 48,000. $48,000. Now, when Boaz said, how can I invite him? And he's going to give me $48,000 to $50,000 when he doesn't have children, meaning I will never be able to pay him back. Today, when people is doing weddings, they don't really care about not the chatan v'kala, and they don't really care about the one that come into the weddings. They care for their money. When I came to you, I give you 300. Now, what goes around comes around. Pay me back the money that I give you. It's not really a gift. It's a business investment. I'm wedding to many weddings. No, this is the emet. Let's talk emet. Tachlis. Real life. Not fake. Yes, I don't really give you a gift. I keep my money on you. When Chodachat, my children is going to get married, the money that I give you a few years ago, back in my pocket. Right? Beautiful. So this is what we call in English and Arabic, business investment. Boaz said, how can I invite a person that I cannot pay him back? I feel bad. The guy is going to lose $50,000. It's not fair. I'm not going to invite him. Beautiful, this one reason. Second reason is, imagine yourself sending pictures on a vacation to a person that 50 years old and never got married. And you send them pictures with you and your wife in a romantic place. Facebook, balagan. And you send it to him direct. You know what you do? Kchakanos, right? You take a knife and you put salt in open room. Boaz said, how can I come and invite this person when they have no children? It doesn't make sense. I bring him into engagement, it's like I'm telling him, look what I have in you. It's not nice. So far Boaz was right, yes or no? Yes. Now everybody agree. A minute before, Boaz become our enemy. A minute later, Boaz is the tzaddik, and Manoach is the problem. So why Manoach was offended? What exactly Boaz did wrong in this act? Why did he get paid such a severe punishment? All his 60 children died. What exactly he did, and ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you a message you will never forget. What?
Measure to measure, if you can, for a breed,
Yeah, but he was a sincere and sensitive, Yitzchak. He didn't do it from a bad intention. He didn't do it because he doesn't want them, or he's rich. He did it, A, because keeping his respect, and B, he did it because he wanted to save his money. So what's the mistakes? Emmanuel, what's the mistakes? Emmanuel, where is the mistakes of Boaz? Where is the mistakes? Anyone here can explain what's the mistakes? Yes?
Maybe it's not in our hands. You shouldn't put in your hands and say, I know exactly, what the other person needs or doesn't need.
Close enough. Close enough. Not bad. They call it ask me before. You see what's the first topic of tonight is? Ask me before. Don't decide for me what's good for me. And we're doing it all day long. We're doing it all day long. We decide for our spouse what is good for him. And because of that, we're going to make, I'm just going to give you an example. You're going out to business trip to Vegas, to Miami, to Hong Kong, business trips. Now, in your mind, being a man, business trip costs money, so you're trying to save money to the family. A and B. Business trip is a trip that 90% of the days you're working, you're going to the how do they call it, to the convention, meeting and convention, and you don't even think about to invite your wife. Why? What, she's going to wait for me in the room of the hotel for 6 or 8 hours? What exactly is the sense? That you right? So far, yes, right? You right. Did you ever ask your wife? Maybe she want to come with you. Maybe she does want to wait in the rooms. And maybe she want to go to shopping at that times and to do whatever she want. And then when you're going to come at night, she's going to go out with you to see Hong Kong, to see Vegas, to see this. Why you decide for me what is good for me, what not? Why you don't have the dignity to come to ask me? My dear wife, we're going right now to business trips. What do you think about it? I feel that, it's not fair that you're going to come because for the next 4 days, 8 or 10 hours, I'm going to be busy. But if you don't mind, I will be as luckiest a man alive if you're going to come with me. And at night, you're going to go out. Maybe your wife will say, perhaps, you know what, it's a good idea. But we decide for the other person. Another example. A person in the community looking for a job. Now, Emmanuel, you have a Baruch Hashem shop. And so far, you have enough mechanic, everything is good. And a person in the community needs a job, and you need somebody to clean the shop, to fix the paper, to put everything in the spot. But you're not going to offer it to a Jew, because it's not a respectable job. I'm not going to give a Jew to be a bellboy. If I had the place of being a manager, I would go for it. But there's no place, everything. So you don't even think to offer me a job. Now you have 120 stores, and I'm coming to, why you don't offer me a job? You know why? Because the job doesn't fit. Why you decide for me what fit or not? Maybe I need the salary and I don't care to clean the floors. Why you decide for me what's good for me? You understand how many times we do it? Almost every day we do it with the wife, with the husband. We decide for you what's good for you. Who give you the right to decide for me? Come and speak with me. Come and be sincere, at least. Boaz, you have mercy on Manoach, I agree with you. Come to Manoach and take him to a side and said, Manoach, I have to ask you a question. Listen, it's 2 reasons why I feel embarrassed to invite you. I really want you to be in my events. But the only reason that I think that, in my opinion, is A, because I don't want you to pay money that I cannot pay you back. And B, I feel that you don't have children. It's not nice to put salt in an open room. Are you okay with me? Maybe Manoach will tell you, you know what? Maybe we'll sit down. Instead of giving you $300, I'm going to give you $50. Just to be a part. Maybe I don't have enough money, but I'm going to pay you 50 because anyway you're not going to pay me back. So I'm coming, A. And B, I want to be in an event. The embarrassment of the whole community being there. And I'm not. It's a strong embarrassment. Nobody asks Manoach what is his opinion. I decide for you what's good for you. Maybe the decision is good. Maybe the decision is sensitive and sincere. But don't decide for me. Ask me before. What a topic. Emmanuel, what a topic. Wow. But dear, what a topic. What a message, huh? Do not decide for me what's good for me. Ask me before. Let me decide for myself what I want and what I don't want. I decide for you how many children we're going to have, don't decide for me. We are partners. Let's sit down and talk. and if we're both on the same page, it's amazing. I decide for you which vacation. You know what's the worst mistake that a man can do? And many of us are doing? Buying diamond rings to your wife. Do not ever buy diamond rings without taking your wife to the store. She doesn't have to know how much you're paying. But ask your wife what's the shape, what kind of thing she like, and then you buy. Because if she doesn't like it, you're going to pay $5,000 to $10,000 or $15,000. She will never do it. She will never wear it. She will wear it in the beginning, then she's going to put it in the closet, and you just lost $15,000. You know what I did when we got married? I took my wife to a store. You know, it was not a store. In Bnei Brak, it's private houses. You have enough diamonds that 20 stores and 47 do not have. You don't understand how much diamonds there are in it. All the closet, everything is open, Baruch Hashem. No private, no taxes, no taxes, everything is on the house. It cost. I gave my wife 2 hours to decide. She gave it in to the manager. And when she left, I said, money-wise, we don't have to talk next to you. It's my job to pay for it. And I bought it. I gave it to a gift. This way, he's not disappointed. He's not trying to surprise you. How many times, ladies, your husband from a beautiful heart and a good meaning trying to surprise you in a vacation in a place that you hate. You saw it in your nightmares, this place. And he told you, bullshit, my Junam Bazam, bought you Maza vacation America. What America? I hate the place. What now? Go and explain them. How many times he bought you something that in his eyes, the watch is amazing, but you hate the shape? Why you didn't ask me before? This is what we're doing on a daily basis. We decide for you what's good for you. The first message of today is, do not decide for me what's good for you. Boy, Olam give me enough brain, let me decide myself. Beautiful, huh? Deep message. Come to me, this explanation, gift of God and the holidays of Shavuot. This is the only mistake that Boaz did. He didn't do any mistakes. He didn't do it on purpose. He embarrassed the person. He embarrassed him big times. But there was no intention. He didn't do it with a bad intention. He did it because he was thinking he's doing good in this world. How did they say it in English? They have a statement in Hebrew. And they made it. I hope I'm doing justice in English. In Hebrew is amazing. הדרך לגהנם רצופה מחשבות טובות. The path to the hell full with good attention. You're going to the hell. The intention is good, I mean only good. You're going to go to Gehenna. 60 children got lost. Because his intention was good. But you broke somebody else's heart. But then, who cares about the intention? Why you don't think about my feeling? Come and speak with me. Maybe if you're going to speak with me, it's going to be different. Maybe what you thought is good for me is not so good. Don't decide for me what's good for me. Ask me before. What a message, what a message, wow, what a message. Life-changing message. The second is good, right? We approve this message? The second, that's it. You know, we're doing it even with the house. We buy a house to the wife. We're buying a house in the wrong location. Now, she doesn't like the neighborhood. But I'm giving you a beautiful... But who said that I want the house? Who said that I want the house? I don't understand. Why are you forcing me? You know, maybe I want to live in an apartment and certain different apartment. Leave me in an apartment, I will be happy. No, I'm going to force you to like what I like for 20 years. You get stuck with this place that you hate because I was sincere enough. Do not be sincere. We are partners. Sit down with me and do not surprise me and do not force me. Let me join together with the decision. Let me join with you in the decision. Let me join. Ask me before. It's like you trying to stick food to your husband's mouth. I know you like what? I know you like this food. Who told you that I like it? And did you ever ask me if I like it? No, in front of you, maybe I'm going to say it's amazing, incredible. I don't want to embarrass you. The way that you cook it, you get the food. But you know, ask me before. I'm not saying that it's not nice and it's not heroic to surprise your wife. I just say, that's right, listen, if you got the house in a good deal, and a deal that you cannot say no, your wife have to be sincere and sensitive to the situation. Instead of buying something 2 million, you find something 1 million, and in your eyes is in a good neighborhood, meaning Jewish neighborhoods, your wife have to be smart not to reject a gift of God. Your wife have to be smart enough not to reject a gift of God. But just give her the dignity to feel that she's also can make a decision.
All the time or sometimes?
I'm not, wake up in the morning
Serious question.
or not waking
Nobody
up.
has this question.
And a major item, definitely yes. And you call me a name. Let's start with this. Calling a name to each other. Some name we hate. We hate these names. But you love it. You decide that your wife love it. How many times happened in our life that in our school, in the yeshiva, they called us names? Dum dum. And now you're not going to be embarrassed because it doesn't look cool to be embarrassed. So in front of everybody you're smiling. And in the house you're crying all day long. I mean, why are you calling me dum dum? Why? Or short, or big, or fat, or tall, or whatever. They have names. Well, one of my best friends, his name was in the yeshiva, Gonzo. Why his name is Gonzo?
Big nose.
Big what?
Big nose.
Big nose, 100%. Gonzo is the big nose. I never know why. Boom, yes, he had a very... So everybody call him...
Sesame Street.
The Gonzo is coming for... Okay, Baruch Hashem. Now I figure out the questions. For 40 years I'm sleeping, I don't know the... Baruch Hashem, Rashi Batosfot. Sesame Street, Baruch Hashem. No, Gonzo. I didn't know where it came from. Now I know, I put this Tosfot, Rashi Baritva. Okay, Sesame Street. Baruch Hashem.
It's okay.
Now, they call him Gonzo. I know him. He was my best friend. You know many times when he went back home, he was crying. But in the yeshiva, nobody knew it because he was cool, smile. He's not going to show you weakness. But in the house, no, the parents came to me. I was always the center guy. The parents came crying. At that time I was a child. Asher, please, can you help us? Try to get all the class. Stop calling him these names. Who give you the right? No, we decide that he's okay with this. He's okay, he love it. He love it, this is his name, brand names. Do not decide for me from the simple things, as long as it's major. When he's major, you come in late home. Call your wife and tell her, listen, I'm coming late home. No, but I'm doing it in order to surprise my wife. I'm going in to buy flowers and I'm going in to buy dinners. It's amazing, incredible. You don't have to share with your wife what you're doing. My wife, I'm coming late today. I'm doing surprise. That's it. At least you're letting me know that you're coming late. I'm not have to wait in the clock, waiting for 2 hours. Where's my husband? Simple dignity. Start from simple things.
Should you tell her every plan in detail what you plan to do, or?
Oh, nice. It's a good question. If this is surprise,
No surprise.
no. If this is real
Just
life,
happens to be on the way.
if this is real life, listen. I'm not going to tell you that every question is in business. You have to ask your wife because, every person has to know his place. To hide everything from your wife is wrong. And many people intend in our communities that the wife doesn't know anything about the business and Chas v'shalom, if she even dare to ask, Bukhara never happened. Gentlemen, we're not in Bukhara. Wake up and smell the coffee. We're in America 2023. Good morning, America. Okay, so this is one. To ignore your wife like she's not exist is a chutzpah. Now, doesn't mean that every decision in business you have to ask your wife. Even though you're going to get a lot of wisdoms. But you don't have to. No, you don't. If you're making major decision in business, you don't have to. You're the one that's in charge of paying the rent and paying the bills. The same way that when we made renovation in our home with Hashem blessing, I was not involved. How that my house is going to look. My job was to pay, and my wife's job is to design. And anything that she designed, I agree. I said, I'm a messenger of God to pay the money. I don't get involved whatsoever. I don't care how the house and the kitchen is going to look and the doors. Some people have the chutzpah. Why are you getting involved? You're barely at home. Who are you to get involved in their home? This is their house. They're the only one that makes decision. I'm sorry I'm teaching you guys. I'm sorry I'm teaching you simple items that in your eyes look like, wow, Rabbi is going too far. This is basic. We have to know our place. Business-wise, it's better that the wife not to get involved something that we don't have. If you know the difference, I know that we're off topic. Why you didn't give me warning? And your wife told you, I told you that 3 years ago. It's a bad news. She saw details. You didn't see it until you wake up. A woman have bina yetera, extra wisdom from the husband. A husband is visionary. A woman do not want to be visionary. She doesn't care about it. She cares for the salary next month. She doesn't want to be rich. Give me 10,000, I'm okay with this. A man, what's it 10,000? I can make 100,000. I can make 500,000 compared to 10,000. Why is that to stay small? I don't know, 500,000. Give me 10,000, I can go into 5 towns, I can live in a nice house. Life is amazing. This is what Evelyn told Rabbi. And what Rabbi said. Evelyn, I'm going to give it to you this year, next year we'll become rich. That's it, enough with this 10,000. We have to make big money. Amen? This is the difference. If you understand, you're always going to ask the opinion of the wife. But she cannot make decisions. She can give advice, she cannot make decisions. In this sense. And you cannot make decisions in the renovation. Because you don't live in the house. I'm sorry guys. You don't live in the house. You're visitors. How many hours you spend in the house? Maybe half an hour a day? Let's be honest. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. Each one of us have to have a position and we can give advice. But at the end of the day, somebody has to take the decision. Okay, let's go back. So the first thing is, the first message of tonight, today we went a little off, is do not do something without asking me. Do not decide for me what's good for me. Let me decide what's good for me. Let me decide. The second thing is, I said, if you want to make your wife happy, Chazon Ish said that, listen to what the Chazon Ish writes. Chazon Ish had a wife that he had no children with. Chazon Ish, I believe, is the Kodo of Stapler HaKadosh. Stapler is the father of Abraham Kanevsky. The Chazon Ish was one of the biggest rabbis in our generation, one of the biggest rabbis in Bnei Brak. He had a wife that had no ability to bring children. I just heard the story today. I know the story that he had no children, but I just heard the story. Listen to the story, you're not going to believe it. He came to his wife and he said, my dear wife, after 10 years, I believe that we have to divorce. So why? Because the halakha said that if you have no children, you have the right. Now the wife is not, she was not 100%. His wife was not 100% in the state. So he told her when they pass to bridge, small bridge, you know what she said? If you leave me, I'm jumping. Meaning I'm going to take my life. What a response, huh? If you leave me, I'm going to take my life away. You know what the Chazon Ish said? Pikuach nefesh doche Shabbat. Pikuach nefesh doche Torah. I will never leave you. And he was living with this woman until the last day of his life with no children. Now the Chazon Ish writes, what's Pikuach nefesh? Pikuach nefesh meaning question of death or life. Question of death or life. Listen to the word of the Chazon Ish. What is in the wife question of a death or life? כי עיקר רצונה של האישה זה שבעלה יאהב אותה. ושהיא רואה שזה לא קרוב, שזה לא, זה קרוב לפיקוח נפש. וזה ישמח את אשתו. מה זה ישמח את אשתו? בריבוי שיחה. Beautiful. You know what the Chazon Ish writes? The most important things for a woman is not that you're going to buy a beautiful home, and it's not a vacation, and it's not clothing. Everything is important, but it's not what your wife wants. And you have to hear it. You know what your wife wants? To feel that you love her. And for her is the most important. If she knows that you love me, if she knows deeply that you love me, that's it. And if not, it's because nefesh. She's a danger to die. She has to know that. And how do you prove that you love? When you're talking to your wife. When you listen to your wife. When you're coming back home and you leave the phone on the side for 20 minutes, you're walking around the neighborhood with your wife to listen to your wife. If the for wife is important to talk, and they are talking. Shlomo, they are talking, they don't stop. A minute that you're going to get married, Chudachat, they never stop. A minute they start, especially in 2 o'clock in the morning, I have something important to share. Macy's have a sale tomorrow, 50%. Okay, why you have to be in 2 o'clock? Why not? No, it's very urgent and important. Okay. No, you're going to get to know it, I'm not going to get you scared so much. Slowly, the information will come. Do you approve this message? But for you to listen to your wife is pikuach nefesh. Pikuach nefesh, this is the word of the Chazon Ish. Your wife at any moment of the day have to know that she is the highest priority in your head. And then Ruby, she will never let it bother you. She will let you do business, buying houses, whatever you want. As long as she knows that above business, above everything, is me. Pikuach nefesh. Not the vacation, not the clothing, nothing. I have to know that you love me. And the minute I know that you love me, that's it. With Emmanuel, there's no questions. There is a love, 100%, no question. Now, we're getting in. So we spoke about love. We spoke about do not ask me before. Now we're going to speak about happiness. And this is the way that we're going to conclude the show. Rabotai, we explained, I'm going to do cash course for everything that we said before. And we're going to add a few things today. The first thing is we said is worthy to be happy. Gentlemen, ladies, is worthy to be happy. Is worth it to be happy. Is your benefits to be happy. When you're not happy, you're losing. Why you're losing, I will explain. But first of all, you have to engrave in your mind, install in your mind that for you benefits is to be happy. Not for nobody else benefits. When I decide that my wife is right, even though that she's wrong, and I say, you know what, I'm sorry. What I'm sorry? She did a mistake. Why you say I'm sorry? Because if I say I'm sorry, she's happy, I'm happy, life is happy, Baruch Hashem. What did I care? If I'm going to go to arrange a war, when none of us is going to win, because a wife barely will ask you forgiveness, almost never happen. And by the way, women always believe that they're always right. This is the emet, 99% of the times. So why bother? Anyway, you're not going to get the war. So just lose it and be happy. No, I have to stand for my right. Man is a man. We're Sephardim, we have to stand. Who cares? Is your benefits 3 days she's not talking to you, 9 days she's making your face of Tisha B'Av, look like her enemies? No, I have to stand. I'm not going to bend over. From the first day I got married, I decide my wife is right. 23 years of happiness. What did I care? What did I care? 23 years until 120 Be'ezrat Hashem. Life of happiness. You are miserable, you want to decide to be miserable. It's good for you to be miserable. I don't know, you like to be miserable. Are you looking to be miserable? I studied from Rabbi Levin. Rabbi Levin, in the grave of his wife died before, I don't know which age, 90, I don't know which age. She died before, they are married, maybe 70, I don't know how many years. I wish that I had the exact details. Rabbi, that part of the story, I know is right. He stood up above the grave of his wife. And he said, my wife, I do not have to ask you forgiveness. Gentlemen, halakha-wise, when a wife died before the husband, or the husband died before the wife, one of the couple have to ask mechila. You know why? Because most likely the closest people that we hurt on a daily basis, few times a day, is the wife and the husband. Every comment, every time we do check out, we give it every embarrassment. Who do we do it? Not to the customer in the shop, to our wife. All the anger of the business we take upon our wife. All the anger of the children we take upon our husband. I was there the whole day. I didn't sleep the whole night. I will make sure that my husband will not sleep the next 24 hours. I will make his life miserable. I will make him fight. This is what we're doing. So we have to ask. Gentlemen, listen to this. Rabbi Levin said, I do not, after 70 years of marriage, there was maybe a few thousand people over there. Everybody looked at him and said, what's the secret? He said, very simple. When I got married, I had no money to buy diamond rings. You know, among Ashkenaz, they don't give the diamond rings in the shalchuri or kalchuri, in the engagement. We give the diamond ring under the chuppah, after the chuppah, in the private rooms. So, this is what I did with my wife. We don't give rings before, we give jewelry before, we don't give ring belong to weddings. So the first ring that we give is the wedding rings, cost 100 shekel, $20. The next ring that costs 1,000, a few thousand, depends how much money you have, we give in the private rooms. The first time you're walking into a private room with your wife. Now, Rabbi Levin went in, he's a poor man. He went into the rooms and he's looking at his wife. Now, most likely she's waiting for the rings. No ring. And he said, my dear wife, I have no rings. I had no money to buy you, but I will give you something better for many rings. I accept a man myself from now until the last day of our life. And any argument, you white. When she died after 70 years, he stood up and said, gentlemen, maybe the only man. I do not have to ask mechila for my wife, because in every argument she was right. The customer is always right, even if he's always right. He's the customer, right? This is what I accepted by my life. My wife is right. I'm happy. It's good to be happy. It's benefits. It's your benefits to be happy. It's your benefits to be happy. When you are happy, like we said before, you can win any battles. It was once, and you remember the story 3 weeks ago, I said, it was once a lightweight boxing fight. How do you call it? Boxing what? Match. Boxing match. One of them is heavyweight, the other one is lightweight. Legal wise, you cannot do it. You know why? The heavyweight is going to kill the other one, not in a round, in a 10 second. The guy with the lightweight is coming, smiling, and he's jumping. And everybody said, I don't know, he took drugs, this guy? What exactly? Red Bull with vodka? What exactly he took, this guy? He's coming in like he have a chance, and he's smiling. And this heavyweight looked like, 250, or every hand looked like, one hand is the whole body of the other guy. And he's coming like this, looks like he's upset. Gentlemen, you're not going to believe, 3 rounds, David, after 3 rounds, the lightweight give a hit to the big one, and he fell down, and he lost. And everybody came into this guy. So what's the secret? What is the secret that you want? That you know anything? I don't understand. What, you give him something to eat, to drink, you put drugs in his, he said, no, I know I'm going to win tonight. He said, why? Yesterday, I got a message. His father passed away. No money will ever move you after that. I know he cannot cancel the fight because he was obligated already. And I know that he's not in the mood to fight. He's depressed. And depression, even though that I'm 200 pounds less, I will win. When you're depressed, no business that you're going to do is going to be successful. When you're depressed, your shalom bayit is the worst. When you're depressed, your education of children. When you're depressed, you don't have even power to stand up. But when you're happy, the whole world is happy with you. When you're happy, God will bless you with children. God will bless you with life. God will bless you with parnasah. Happiness brings energy. And energy brings life to the highest. You don't understand? You wake up in the morning and you can win any obstacle. Ask the doctor in the hospital. The chances for a happy person to pass any sickness is 95% above a depression human being. Depression brings sickness. Happiness can overcome even the sickness with chemo treatments. Nothing is, you know how we know? How many sickness we have in this world? How many sickness we have? 83. How do you know that we have 83? Because the word sickness is 83. How do you write sickness? Machana. Mem. Chet. Lamed Hey. Mem is 40. Lamed is 30. How much together? 70. Chet is 8. 78. Hey is 5. 78 plus 5 is how much? 83. They have 83 sickness in the world, in general. You know what take this 83 sickness? Breakfast. Wife is very important if you want your husband to live until 120, to make him a good breakfast. Sunny side up, sunny side down, Shakespeare with love, cappuccino, mochaccino, succoccino. Do, before Emmanuel is going to conquer the world, before Emmanuel Kapara, do, sing when you do breakfast. Why? You save your husband. Ask me, what's the connections? What's the connection between breakfast to 83 sickness? The Gemara said, everyone that eat breakfast, only not dinner and not lunch. The Gemara is very strong in breakfast. Why breakfast is so important? Shlomo, why breakfast? You know why? Because when you wake up in the morning, when exactly the first smile come into your husband's face? After you eat the breakfast. When you get food. If you're happy, happiness will postpone any sickness. Happiness will take away any sickness. So the benefits of happiness is to have a great shalom bait. The benefits of happiness is to win any battles. The benefits of happiness is to have blessing in the business. You know why you have blessing in the business? Because the Zohar HaKadosh writes, the way that you act downstairs, they're going to act with you upstairs. If you are happy, they have to give you a reason to be happy. They have to give you a reason to be happy. But if you sad, they're going to give you enough reason to be sad. A woman called me and she said, Rabbi, I have a mistake child. A mistake child. The child came not planning. And I said, okay, she's crying, she's shivering. You know, she was thinking that I'm going to be there to support, and I'll definitely support. But sometimes the best support is to put reality check. I said, you know, they had another woman in that month that bury her child. I said, by the way, which problem you want? You want to bury your children or you want to have a mistake child? God forbid to say mistakes. She was quiet. She said, Rabbi, my life situation is amazing. You're complaining over nonsense? God Shalom to call as child mistakes. Well, this is the greatest gift that God gave you. They have other ways to make you, I mean, if you want to change the mazal, they have other ways to change. Yes, God forbid. If there's mistakes, it can be buried and then there's no mistakes. And then what? And then 4 years later, you're not going to step on that. So be very careful what you wish. Rabotai, happiness is our benefits. To be happy in life is the greatest sweetness. When you acting in a certain way, God, you know the Pasuk said in the Zohar, right? Hashem tzilcha et yad yimenecha. But then you know what's tzilcha? Tzilcha is a shadow. Did you ever went in, Ruby, did you ever went in, Eliyahu, did you ever went into a shadow? You went in and you see my shadow? You see my hand? In this shadow. When I'm doing like this, you know, like this, this is a, somebody teach me to do a board. You see? What do you see? What you see here is me. It was a man that came in from the village. He came into the city. The first time, he's walking into Ritz-Carlton, the most fancy hotel. He doesn't even know what's his hotel. He doesn't know what's his motel. He came from one of the villages in Russia. He came into Moscow to the Ritz-Carlton. He's walking around and he's like this, mesmerized, what a beautiful. And then he see a face of a human being look at him. And he look at the man, he said, why you look at me? Well, because I came from the village. He looked at this, and the guy looked at this. And he said, who are you? And the guy gave the hand. And then he went to pee, he gave him boom. The guy gave him boom. He said, what is this? He went into the reception. He said, listen, I need to bring the police. The guy is against me. The guy looked at him and said, you're not normal completely. This guy is not a guy. He's a mirror. He never saw a mirror in his life. He thought he's somebody else. You know, God is the mirrors of our life. The Zohar HaKadosh writes, Hashem tzilcha. God is the shadow. The way that you act precisely, Borei Olam is going to act with you. If you're walking with happiness, your shadow is God. And God will bring you many reasons to be happy. But if you're going with sadness, don't worry, they have enough reasons why to make you sad. So it's good to be happy. It's good. It's good to be happy because we believe that everything that we're doing in life is in the hand of God, and God is doing only good for us. Only good for us. It's good to be happy because positive thinking creates positive reality. It's good to be happy because then you're judging anything in life in a positive way. I'm going to give you an example that all of us here will fall down. Mechila, that I said, none of us will be successful in this example. You send your tefillin to check. None of us here is 20 years old, right? We're all 30 and above. Right? 30 except the young couples here. But none of us, right? We're close to 30. 26? 26, okay. So we are 25, 26 and above. Okay, 26, To be fair, 26 and above. Okay. We still have rookies here, children. 26, okay? 26 and above. Now, Paltier, you send your tefillin to check. Imagine you send it. They call you, listen, the tefillin is pesulot. Not pesulot. Is 2 letters missing. You know what I mean? That this tefillin was never kosher.
Asur.
You see? Automatically Sephardic. Wow. Anabachti. 13, 15 years, I never put tefillin. Wow, depression. Fast. Going in and not talking to nobody. Getting into the mood. Putting music, depressed music. You're eating, what do you call it, popcorn. You're getting into the mood of depression. Now, Baruch Hashem, you're going into psychology. Listen, for 15 years I never put tefillin. This is what most of us, all of us here, will do. You know what is pessimic and optimic? Pessimic is what all of us is. Always see the negativity. Pessimist. Anybody call it? Okay, pessimist. How do you call it?
Optimist.
Optimist. You know what the difference? You know what optimist is going to say? Borei Olam, I'm 26 years old. I'm supposed to be alive until 100. 75 years minimum. Baruch Hashem, the last 75 years I'm going to put it in kashrut. Thank God for this guy. Because of him, I will. When I went into the hospital, I didn't understand. The doctor that sent me into the hospital is a doctor that put my life, wow. You don't understand. He did so many things that was wrong. He took 5 nails for my legs. I don't know, maybe it was like a discount rate. He liked nails. I had a problem with 1 nail, he took 5 of them. 5, you know what the painful? And not only that, he sent me home with no antibiotic. No antibiotics. You take 5 nails and the leg out, and you send it. My leg was balloon. I went into the hospital like this. The leg is like this. Emergency room, 1 week they're trying to put antibiotic. This antibiotic, I don't remember the names, every 24 hours you have to check your liver. The worst antibiotic, the strongest antibiotic to fight this. Now 1 week you're sitting over there and you say, why bad things happen to good people? Why me? Why this? Why? 1 week later, they realize, that only in our enemies, that the reason that this has happened, I never knew, is diabetes. And the highest level. And the highest level. This guy actually saved my life. Because I went to the hospital, I knew that I'm going to tell you numbers. I'm not going to tell you the numbers because they're scary numbers. You know, when they check your blood, they can see for the last 3 months how much diabetes you have.
A1C.
A1C, yeah. The A1C was a number that the doctor almost fainted. He said, Rabbi Vaknin, you have to send a bucket of flowers, bouquet of flowers, and chocolate bonbonniere to this doctor. He saved your life. Thank God he didn't give you antibiotic. And thank God. Do you see what exactly happened? It's your decision what to see. You can wait until the end and then realize, or you can decide to see from the beginning. You know what? You can decide. If you understand that to be happy is good, always choose to see the right things in every case, in every scenario. In every scenario, how did he say, listen to this. You know the story that I told you many times? You put a paper with black point. What everybody see? The black point. How come you don't see the whole paper, the blue paper? Nobody see it. Because in life we like to see the black point. We like to see the negativity. Your husband do something wrong, he come 1 time late, wow, balagan, you go in ballistic. But he came always on time for 1 month. He made everything. Your wife 1 time cook or spillet that is wrong. You never know how to cook. The one that teach you was blind. He was deaf and mute. I don't know who teach you to cook. You have to go to my mama, to your mother. I'm cooking those spillet already 20 years and you eat it. 1 time, it was overcooked. What's the big deal? No, this is disgrace to the family. Our gene is getting ruined because of you. Our children is going to go off the derech because of this hospital. How far you went? 1 time. Gentlemen, listen to this, ladies. We have to understand. How did he said? What's your name? Yuri? Yuda, kapara lecha. Yuda, listen to this. It's better to be fake happy from real depression. You hear that? Beautiful, huh? It's better to, what's mean fake happy? I'm going to give you an example. You put music, and for the next hour you're happy. But it's not really real happiness because it's good for 1 hour. You buy a new car and you're happy for 1 week. It's not really to be happy. It's just to put yourself in the mood of happiness for 1 week. It's better to have fake happiness from real depression. I don't want to be real. Even fake. Nothing is more important from being happy. If this is so, how do we become happy? How do we become? The first thing is samach tesamach. Samach tesamach meaning in our communities, many communities, but in our community you can see it very often. There are many people that volunteer their time. Atzala, Shmira, Shomrim, whatever, Bikuchonim, Chicken for Shabbos. You see many guys volunteers. Now volunteers meaning working for free. Which Jewish person is happy? Working for free. And it's not small hours, 7 hours, 10 hours. I mean, are you out of your mind? You put in your life in danger, you're jumping in from one sickness to another. Do you know why? Because at the end of the days when they're coming in home, they're exhausted, but you're going to see a smile in the face. Do you know why? Because one of the secrets to be happy is to make somebody else happy. When you make somebody else happy, you're going to see that the side effect of this sickness is that you're going to become happy. You care for somebody else. How many times you took your wife? And ladies, don't be ashamed to give a smile, a real smile. Your husband took you to a vacation and all day long you have complaining on the room, the view is not good, the floor is not good. You are on a vacation. Change the mood. Give a smile. That smile. Smile. Wake up in the morning with smile. What's the problem? Because my husband, I'm so lucky to have you. I'm happy. You see it in my face. Wow. You know what you're going to do? You're going to make your husband happy. Because the minute that you make somebody else happy, you feel much more satisfied. In the personal ways, in the intimacy ways, in the physical ways, in emotional ways. Anytime you make somebody else happy, the side effect is. So one level to become happy is always to care or to find some time to do something for others. The satisfied of doing Shalom Bayit, when I'm leaving the office and I see another couples continue to live with each other, because I was a messenger of God to do it, for 1 week I'm going with a smile. You know, I saw a guy that was already divorced. He was divorced completely. 2 weeks after he was in my house, I see him buying the flowers and beautiful bouquet of flowers to his wife. And I'm walking with my wife and I'm smiling. I said, why are you smiling? You look strange. Why are you smiling? He said, you know, I feel so good that God chose me to be a messenger, his own messenger, to make sure that this house was still going to be here. I have many houses that I was a messenger, that they be'emet b'nei that they are continue. You know, one guy in the Syrian community, every baby that he had, or every event he invited me, Rabbi, he was already divorced. His wife left him with 4 children, left him. She went into Ashkenaz courthouse because she was afraid that the Sephardic rabbi will never give. I went into the courthouse, and I was there, and I told the rabbis, listen, why are you rushing to divorce? She doesn't want to live with him. I said, listen, she doesn't know me, but I'm judge number 3. They need 3 judges, right? I said, okay. Put me in. The rabbi, one of the biggest rabbi in Ashkenaz world in Brooklyn, one of the biggest. He's the son after son from the Gaon of Vilna. He told me, Rabbi Vaknin, okay, we're going to give you 20 minutes exactly on the clock. If you did it, you did it. If not, you lost. I said, okay. So the courthouse, we sitting 3 of us, the judge, the head judge, and 2 judges, me and the other guy. And then he looks and said, I'm sorry, we're busy, we're leaving. Him and the other Ashkenaz left. And I was there. And she had 4 children. And I looked at her and I started to cry. She said, why are you crying? I still remember it. Because I had also 4 children. And God forbid, I saw myself. I started crying. I said, how can you destroy your children's life? What is, the husband is so bad? Tell me how bad it is. It was very difficult for her to say. And then she started to cry. I said, Bro, that's it, gift. That's it. She's crying, we're in a good mood. Now we are good. Now we are good, Bro, now we're good. Good, it's all good. 10 minutes later, she said, listen, you have a small problem here, I said, okay, we're willing to fix all the problem. If he's willing to fix it, she said, yes. The rabbis came back, it's history, they still live with each other for 20 years. 20 years later. And he was already on the steps of divorce. You know that when you're going into a tzara and you save somebody's life, for years, you're going to wake up in the morning. When you're making money, I mean, no offense, it's beautiful, but it makes you happy, no? No, but when you're giving charity, you feel good. When you're giving charity to a human being, to a poor person, or you hire a Jew that had no job before, and because of you, you become successful, and because of you, Baruch Hashem, you have money to pay, and you know what you did? You change human being life. You become, in a way, small version of God. You become God. Nothing to be ashamed to say it. You don't have to be afraid, because we are a piece of God. Each one of us have a soul, that soul is a piece of God. So when I tell you, you are God, I'm not joking and I'm not over-excited. No, this is the myth. You reveal the godliness on you. And each one of us is God. What's the problem? Our body always blocking. Always blocking. No, body meaning me and myself. Always caring for myself. Our body is what limited us to be happy. What's your name again? Ovadia. How do you know? If you answer the question, Ovadia, you get a free breakfast, open press you and your wife, and another couple can be the rabbi and his wife, by the way. Just giving you a hint. Ovadia, you got the hint, right? Okay. How do you know that the body is what limited us to be happy? By the way, the sponsor is Avraham Rabbi. The Rabbi family can afford it. No, he's in a good mood. Okay, how do you know? Shlomo, next time you're going to be the sponsor, don't laugh too much. Okay. How do you know that the body is what interferes? The more body, the less happiness. Less body, more happiness. How do you know that? I will give you a proof. What most of the time a baby is doing? Smile, right? Baby, 90% of the day smiling. Why are we not smiling? Why a minute that you become, it looks like, you know what's funny? For us, to look like a serious human being, you have to look like this. Wow, this guy is smart. He's intelligent, you know. He's a serious thinker. A rabbi that laughs, something is wrong with the rabbi. But if the rabbi is walking like this, Gehenam! The rabbi is good. This rabbi is... Why? Why we cannot smile like a baby? You know why? Because when a baby is small, his neshama is 90%. And his body is only 10%. He doesn't do nothing with the body. He cannot walk, he cannot barely, he cannot talk, he cannot do nothing. So the body really affects only 10%. But the neshama is big. He's happy. When the person become big, his body become big. And he need to eat 17 hours a day. And he need to make money and more money. And he need respect and kavod and ego and all this balagan. The more the body, less the soul. Reveal your godliness on you. You will get happiness. The more spirituality, the more happiness. How do you know that? When your body becomes small. When your body become less important, then you can see that happiness. When you are, how do you call it, not sponsor, when you volunteer in a job that making difference in people's life, and you don't make money and you're doing it for the sake of God, you know what's going to happen? You will achieve happiness. When you make your wife happy, you will achieve happiness. When your job is to wake up in the morning and to think, how can I do that my husband all day long is going to be happy? You will achieve happiness. This is the emet. If this is so, I will end with this message. They said, another way to be happy is, in Hebrew they said, you might not going to respect the statements, but wait until then. Evelyn, en sechel en dagot. You know what means en sechel en dagot? No brain, no worries. Right, this is what they said in Hebrew.
Very common Israeli thing.
Yes. En sechel en dagot.
In English.
Now, perhaps Emmanuel, the thinker human being, the Rambam, the Maimonides, we might not going to like this statement. What mean no brain? I am a Jew, I am smart, I am a brain, right? So what mean no brain? And no worries. Now I'll tell you what's the meaning. The meaning is that this is not a shadow meaning, it's a deep meaning. And the meaning is שתכלית הידיעה שלא נדע. Beautiful statement in Hebrew. The purpose of knowledge is that we're going to get to conclusion that we don't know nothing. I mean, they put my children many times in the quick pick. You know, the airplane, they have a quick, the room of the, how do you call it quickly? The room of the captains.
Cockpit.
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 Okay, cockpit. They put my son many times to take pictures. You know, children. One time was a Jewish child came in, and he asked the captains, excuse me, what is this button he's doing? The captain looked and he starts smiling, and he doesn't answer. And the father said, oh, my son is a Jew. Give him answer. He said, if he's a Jew, I don't know what's the questions. What's the mean? I tell him, what's the button? He said, they have in this room maybe 5,000 buttons. All the 4,900, you understand only this one, he doesn't understand. So this is, if you understand all 4,000, I'm going to answer. But he doesn't understand anything, so what's the difference between this button and this button? Many times in life we're asking questions, why God you doing it? He's like, we understand everything. We understand why we wake up in the morning. We understand the logic of God. We don't understand anything. So why are you trying to understand why your life is a mess? There's a purpose for it, and there's a good purpose for it. Stop trying to understand the conclusion of a knowledge that you don't know nothing. This is the conclusion is, stop thinking that you can verify it and explain and understand why you lost business yesterday. I have to explain. I have to understand why God allowed me to deposit, to invest my money in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was 67, now it crashed down. Why? Why I was the only loser in the community that put it in 67? Why I didn't put it when the community started with 3,000? Many of us, I have to come into conclusion. You know what's the conclusion? The conclusion that in life you don't understand nothing. You don't understand 4,999 buttons. You want to understand these buttons? Life is so perfect. The second way to be happy is to understand that we don't understand nothing. To understand that we don't understand nothing. I will bless all of us, B'ezrat Hashem, that we're going to achieve the level of happiness, B'ezrat Hashem. And happiness meaning to make sure that somebody else is going to be happy. Happiness meaning, B'ezrat Hashem, to make sure that somebody else is going to be happy, God will pay you to be happy. To understand that happiness is decision. You decide if to be be optimistic, pessimistic, or optimistic. You decide. And happiness is the most important things in life. Because the way that you behave, the Almighty God precisely behave with you. Let's remember the beginning of the class. Ask me before you do something. Don't decide for me what's good for me. Let's decide together what's good for us. And last but not least, by you listening to me, by you prove me that you love me, by you show me that you love me, you're giving me life. If there's anything that your wife wants, is to feel that she is in love. When she knows that she is in love, and you love her dearly, you extend her life until 100. My name is rabbiashervaknin, and I approve this message. Anyone that have a new topic that want to raise up, please send me a text message. We're going to see if the topic can be like a series. I will let you know. Anyone that have a topic, please let me know. Rabbi אדוני חפץ למען צדקו, יגדיל תורה וידיר קדיש.
יגדל וקדש מרבה, ואמר אלוהי כרותיה ואמר כותב, ואשמע פוקנה וכאלה לשקר. וחיון יאמר בית ישראל, בגלה ובגרים ובגרים, ויש מרבה מורה ולמם היה יברה, וישתבח ופער וגמר ונעשה ודבר נגישה ולהוא. לאלה וגרום ולתה גלתה ותוכנתה מרבה, אמר אלוהי. על ישראל ורבנן ותלמידים וכל תלמידי תלמוד להשתלשת דיבי אדרה הדמתי וכל אתר ואדר יהיה לנו לכל המדינה וסתר ותלמיד ואותם יש נמרה במשמעי חיים וסתמה ושלום וחמם שזבה וחמם אבל פרה ראה וצלדה
ישראל, אמן.
אמן.
עשה שלום וחמה, עשה שלום העץ שלום.
עשה שלום ישראל, אמן.
אמן.
Ah,